Welcome to True Crime and Celebrity News. If live breaking news and court trials and following true crime your thing, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you see what you like in my content, please consider giving the content a thumbs up. Welcome to True Crime and Celebrity News. If live breaking news and court trials and following true crime your thing, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you see what you like in my content, please consider giving the content a thumbs up. Welcome to True Crime and Celebrity News. If live breaking news and court trials and following true crime your thing, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you see what you like in my content, please consider giving the content a thumbs up.
Good morning. How is everybody? I'm back. Well, just for this, I haven't felt very good the last few days. Something with my pancreas and my gallbladder. Oh, I can't have an 8. Anytime I eat something, I get severe pains in my stomach, and so I'm just trying to let my pancreas relax. But if you're watching this now or on the replay, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell. We are here today because we are going to listen to Brian Walshe be sentenced. In the mom murder trial, Anna, she's finally got justice. Her family's got justice. I'm pretty sure we'll hear from her kids. I think maybe her mom might zoom in from Siberia, or wherever she's from. I don't know where she's from. But how is everybody doing? I hope everyone is well. Christmas in 1 week. 1 week, you guys. I think it's 1 week. Hold on. I should probably check things before I say it. Yes, 1 week today. 1 week today. I haven't really been doing too much. I went to the doctor on Tuesday in Iowa City, so that alone is a trip. It's an hour and a half out there and an hour and a half back. And had my x-ray. The original screw that broke completely. But they said it's stable, so we'll see. Sounds like they're getting started. I really haven't cleaned or cooked. I have to today. I took out a rib rack. Son got his Christmas bonus from his job, and they gave him one of those Framos. It's a frame, and it does pictures and stuff, and if somebody else has one, you can connect to it, and you can put pictures on it. And they gave him one of those really cool thermos things, not a Stanley, and a big duffel bag to put your clothes in, really nice sturdy one, and $200 thing because no one's ever been hurt, so that was nice of his job. And then I think at the beginning of the month, December 5th, is when they gave him his Christmas bonus. I think because of all the shopping and stuff that you'd want to do. But of course, we were paying back Dubuque County, so that kind of sucked. But that's all paid back now. We just kind of do us, and that's about it. I don't know what we're going to do for Amy and Haley. She says she just wants money. So I was just thinking about giving Amy $100 for her birthday, and $150 for her birthday, $50 for Christmas, and then giving Haley $50. And then I'm cooking for Christmas. I got turkey. Amy don't eat ham. She don't eat pork. So I got ham, stuffing, sweet potatoes, and then sweet potato pie. I was thinking about making some sweet potato bars or pumpkin bars or a pumpkin pie. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. But what do you guys think Mr. Walsh is going to end up getting? I think life without parole. I thought he was sentenced on the day, because the day that they found him guilty, I wasn't able to do because I just felt so awful. Like my pancreas, I couldn't even touch it. I couldn't even touch my stomach. I don't know what the hell's going on with my body. But I'm about done with it. But welcome in. We're just waiting for them to start. Oh, you guys can't see what I can see. Duh, I should probably turn it on. Yeah, I didn't even open my computer since last Thursday. Nope. So I've been pretty much laying in bed. I laid in bed all weekend. Really didn't do much. I was thinking about going live yesterday. There was a police chase, but I just I couldn't. I'm like, oh no. I seen that they got a bunch of new stuff on StreamYard. Something about making an AI video or something. They're never on time. That's why I was like, because it's 9 there, right? And it's supposed to start at 9. I was fixing I like my thumbnail. I never did watch the sentencing. I haven't watched it yet. I should have had my boyfriend put on some new lidocaine strips. But I was zonked out when he left this morning. There you go.
Here. All present for the Honorable Diane Fernandez, Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court. Ron, here, tendency shall be heard. Look at the call of Massachusetts, Norfolk Court. Please be seated.
Your Honor, in the matter of the Commonwealth versus Brian Walshe, Norfolk Superior Court Criminal Indictment Number 2023-0091. Defendant and counsel are present in court. Defendants represented by Attorney Larry Tipton and Attorney Kevin Porges. Commonwealth is represented by Attorney Greg Connor, Attorney Ann Yaz, and Attorney Tracy Cusick. Counsel, starting with the Commonwealth, kindly identify yourselves for the court and the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Greg Connor for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ann Yaz for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tracy Cusick for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. Kelly Porges on behalf of Mr. Walshe.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Larry Tipton for Mr. Walshe.
Please be seated. All right, I have two motions up here, one from each of you, and I'll address those in a minute.
You are unmuted.
So let me start by, excuse me, taking a drink of water. Let me start by listing what the court has reviewed in preparation for this sentencing to make sure that everything you think that I have reviewed, I have in fact received and reviewed. So I've received the parties' sentencing memos. That comprises one sentencing memo submitted, I think, yesterday or the day before, late in the day before, from the Commonwealth. The defense has provided a sentencing memo along with a supplement that I received this morning. I think that was filed yesterday after the close of the business day. I also have received various victim impact statements in writing, to include victim impact statement on behalf of the three minor children from the Department of Children and Family Services, DCF. I've also received victim impact statements written from Melissa Kirby and from Peter and Pam Kirby. And I sought out and shared with the parties and have reviewed various sentencing commission information, as well as guideline calculation from probation, as well as Mr. Walsh's carry and triple I, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And I've now just received and will review, prior to deciding my sentence, a letter from Diana Walshe. As an initial matter, is there anything that the parties submitted that I didn't just now list that you expected me or want me to review before sentencing? Carmel first.
Your Honor, there will be a victim impact statement given by Anna's sister, Alexandra Dmitrich, and she's prepared to give that to the court.
Okay, but as far as written materials, any other written materials that you are hoping me to review before I impose sentence.
No other written materials, and I just want to note that FTR is not on at this point in time, and I don't know if the court needs that on. I know we have a court reporter and we're in good hands, but sometimes we've been running both.
I thank you for pointing that out. We do, when we have the court reporter, that is the primary method of memorializing the events, but always good to have a backup, and I see that Madam Clerk has put it on now. For the defense, are there any other written materials that you wish the court to review?
You have everything.
All right, let me just take a moment to review this letter.
Poor guy. You got to worry about those people coming after you now about that money. They know where you at and where you'll be. Oh, my nose. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get another iced coffee, because that's good for the pancreas. I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute though.
All right. Thank you. We'll start with the Commonwealth's presentation of whatever victim impact statements that you wish me to hear orally.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth would ask Alexandra Dimitrovic to address the court. Would you like her at the witness stand or from the podium?
In the witness stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexandra Dimitrievich, and I'm the sister of Anna Walshe. I am here today to represent myself and my mother. I want to share with the court how losing my sister in January 2023 has forever changed our lives and left us with an unbearable emptiness. Losing my sister Anna so unexpectedly has altered our world in ways we never imagined. Anna was not just my sister. She was someone I grew up with, someone who knew me in ways no one else ever will. I struggle with the grief that comes without warning, hoping every morning that this is all just a terrible dream. The most painful part of this loss is knowing her children must now grow up without their mother's hand to hold. They now face a lifetime of milestones, big and small, where her absence will be deeply and painfully felt. This tragedy has also devastated my mother. She has developed severe depression and chronic exhaustion. Every single day, she carries the weight of losing her daughter. Our entire family is still learning how to live with this emptiness. Holidays and birthdays are now silent reminders of her absence. Because of the circumstances of my sister's death, we were denied the opportunity to say a final goodbye and to observe our customs, adding a layer of profound, unfinished grief to our loss. Anna was a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend. Her life was unfairly taken. We miss her beyond words. While we recognize that no sentence can bring her back, we ask the court to consider the permanent, long-lasting impact this loss has had on our family, especially her children. We stand in agreement with the Commonwealth and their recommendations. Finally, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the investigators, the Commonwealth's office, and everyone who has worked tirelessly on this case. Your dedication to seeking justice for my sister has provided our family with a sense of support during our darkest hours. Your Honor, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share the full weight of this incomprehensible act. Anna will never be forgotten. We will carry her light and her memory with us forever. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Sorry.
Your Honor, we have no other victim impact statements other than the ones that we've submitted in writing.
All right, thank you. All right. I have read the Commonwealth sentencing recommendation, the written recommendation, but I'll have you stated on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth is requesting that the defendant be sentenced to a series of consecutive sentences on the charges to run from and after his federal case in which he received a sentence of 37 months in February of 2024. The first charge that the Commonwealth would seek an incarceration component on is count 003, and that the defendant be sentenced to 2.5 to 3 years. The second charge would be that he, on the misleading 002, to run from and after 003, that he receive a sentence of 18 to 20 years. And that the third charge, the murder, in the first degree, that the defendant be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole to run from and after 003 and 002. And Your Honor, if I may be heard in our argument.
Please.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you look at the facts of these three charges, each one calls for a harsh penalty. If you look at the illegal conveyance of a body, the defendant did not just, the person that he illegally conveyed was his wife and the mother of his 3 children. And he did it by removing her remains from the family home and placing them in buckets, in garbage bags, in dumpsters around the Commonwealth. He denied, as you just heard, her family the opportunity to have any customs or burial. There is no grave, there is no memorial. And he did this all in an effort to destroy evidence. On the misleading component, Your Honor, while we do mention the potential of probation, we put that in there only as data so that you understand the efforts that went in to trying to find Anna based on the defendant's series of lies. These lies were all done in an effort to cover up his crime and destroy evidence. We're also, while we put in that, we are not seeking a probation sentence, but we put it in there so the court, if it wanted to contemplate one, understood there was an option to do it that would prevent the defendant potentially from trying to profit from this.
So the only mechanism for me, I see it anyway, the only mechanism for me under the restrictions of state law,
Yes, Your Honor.
it's an either-or situation. That is, either I incarcerate him for an additional period of time, either concurrent or consecutive, or I put him on probation following the life sentence, or maybe it even starts today. But the only way that restitution can be achieved on count 2 is through a probationary sentence. So I don't think there's any other mechanism for me doing that. So I don't know how you achieve that goal if without a probationary sentence and mandating it as a condition of probation. And so I wanted the Commonwealth to be clear with me. You're making note of it in passing, but you are not asking me to put him on a probationary sentence. Is that correct?
We are not, Your Honor. It is data that you can use in order to determine the scope of his lies in which the police relied on them and you can see the costs that went into investigating the disappearance of Anna Walshe, but we are not asking for probation on this matter.
And the same question with regard to the issue of restitution that I heard rumblings of yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same result.
Same result. It is, again, it's data for you in determining your sentence, but we are not asking for it.
All right, just wanted to be clear on that.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then on the murder, again, this was the murder of his wife and the mother of his 3 children. And the cover-up of this murder, Your Honor, deserves some analysis. If you look at the first internet search, which occurred at approximately 4:52 a.m. on the 1st, how to dispose of a body, and how they evolve into eventually 11:24 a.m., how to dispose of body parts after a murder, it appears the defendant at this point in time is committed to getting rid of evidence of the crime. And it leads to the shopping sprees later on that night at Lowe's and CVS and Stop and Shop. However, if you look at the internet searches on the second, how to dismember a body, and is a hacksaw the best tool to dismember a body? It's a reasonable inference he hasn't started the action yet. And it results in the second shopping spree to Home Depot that afternoon, which means that Anna Walshe has been dead in that basement for over 24 hours. The same home his children are in, the same home the babysitter's at, the same home his mother has come to visit. And in the evening between the 2nd and the 3rd is when the dismemberment occurs, and on the 3rd we see him going to dumpsters, getting rid of the remains. In the defendant's sentencing memo, and I want to note, the defendant was represented by 2 excellent lawyers who are titans in this industry, who I have the highest respect for. They say the Commonwealth's recommendation is inhumane. I suggest that that's not the appropriate word choice, because if we were to look at that word, I would suggest that that describes the defendant's depravity of his actions, of murdering his wife, dismembering her, and getting rid of her remains by throwing her away like garbage. The question might become whether or not this is a cruel and unusual punishment that the Commonwealth is recommending. And I direct your honor to one case. It's Cepulonis, Cepulonis versus the Commonwealth, 384 Mass 495 at 497. It's a 1981 case. To reach the level of cruel and unusual punishment, the punishment must be so disproportionate to the crime that it shocks the conscience and offends the notion of human dignity. I don't know if that's possible in this case, Your Honor, because human dignity was completely offended by the defendant's actions and how he treated his wife, how he disposed of her, and how he robbed her family and friends of the opportunity to bury her. There is no death certificate. The church will not allow a funeral to go on at this point in time. We are working on trying to work with the MD's office to see if we can get a death certificate to issue now, based on the conviction and based on the plea.
Oh, wow.
And when I looked behind me after the closing arguments, I realized that was the closest thing that those people had come to a wake, because they never got together to mourn her. And that happened 3 years later. So with that, Your Honor, the Commonwealth does make a punishment that we recommend to you. We recognize it's harsh, but we think it's appropriate based on the facts. And I appreciate your time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll hear from the defense.
With respect to the first-degree murder conviction, although we made it clear from our memorandum that we do object to a life without parole sentence based on state and U.S. constitutional grounds, based on the Eighth Amendment, we understand the court has no discretion. With respect to indictments 2 and 3, you do. I think inhumane is the right word, respectfully. To sentence someone to prison posthumously to send a message is humane. It's dehumanizing him. Regardless of what happened in this courtroom, regardless of the convictions, regardless of what anyone believes about this person, he is a human. He is a father, he is a son, and he has been a friend to many. the life sentence is mandatory, but to do consecutive sentences, I think is inappropriate and is inhumane. Anytime there is a death, a murder, a loss of life, it is horrible, whether it's a loved one or a stranger. And the legislature has provided, regardless of our disagreement, that a life sentence without parole is mandatory. But that does not negate that he is a human being. And I don't think
Welcome back.
time is appropriate. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. What he was convicted of were atrocious acts. We've heard from her family, we've heard from her friends. Their pain is unimaginable, and I'm not demeaning that, but I have the opportunity to speak for Brian today. And I'm asking the court to sentence him in line with the guidelines and with the purpose of sentencing: punishment, justice, prevention of future crimes, consecutive sentences. That's excessive and it doesn't meet those needs. So I'd ask the court to adopt the defendant's sentencing recommendation.
Just want to put on the record that the defendant, in making its argument with regard to the inhumane aspect of any consecutive sentences, cited to a case in its brief, Donovan. Donovan does not apply to this case. As an initial matter, Donovan related to a larceny involving a single act that resulted in 7 different victims being victimized. The SJC, that was I think a 1985 case. The appellate courts in Massachusetts have long since distinguished Donovan, even in the case of.
Good morning, Cindy. In the process of trying to say good morning, my mouse went flying across the room.
When Donovan relates only to a single act case and not one with one purpose, as you could argue there was one purpose here, but more than one discrete offense. So I'm not persuaded by the logic of Donovan, even if it applied to this case, and even if it was as broad-reaching as the defense suggests in its sentencing memo, which the court finds it is not.
I personally think she's going to sock him. I think she's going to give him life without parole and probably an extra 20 years.
There is no task facing a judge that is more important or more difficult than crafting an appropriate sentence.
I asked everybody, I asked you guys what you think that she's going to give him. How many years?
In prison without the possibility of parole. That sentence is immensely appropriate and just, given your murderous acts and the life trauma that you inflicted upon your own children. As to counts 2 and 3, I have wide discretion in sentencing. I want to state my rationale for your sentences on those 2 counts on the record now. I have considered various factors with regard to my sentence for counts 2 and counts 3, to which you pled guilty on November 18th, 2025. Specifically, I've considered the severity of the crimes, their nature and circumstances, and your role in those crimes, the need to deter others from committing comparable crimes, and your prior criminal record, namely your federal fraud case. As to the latter, your criminal history shows a long and well-documented history of deceitful and manipulative behavior. I've considered your character or lack thereof, your behavior, and your background. With regard to the nature and circumstances of the offenses, as to indictment 002, in the approximately 4 hours of interviews spanning 4 days, you concocted a detailed, completely fabricated story of what happened to Anna Walshe on January 1st, 2023, in order to cover up your murder of her and disposal of her body. Your lies triggered a multi-day, extensive missing persons investigation. A command center was set up in Cohasset. It was manned by various law enforcement, to include the Cohasset Police Department and the Massachusetts State Police. And local and Massachusetts resources were deployed to Washington, D.C. to investigate at Anna's home. Because of your lies, thousands of hours of investigative resources were wasted and diverted from other deserving cases and investigations. As to the nature and circumstances of count 3, the improper disposal of Anna Walshe's body. The seriousness of your acts cannot be overstated. Your acts in dismembering your wife's body and disposing of her remains in multiple area dumpsters can only be described as barbaric and incomprehensible. You had no regard for the lifelong mental harm that your criminal acts inflicted on your then 2, 4, and 6-year-old sons, not only in taking their mother, but also, as is specific to this charge, in never being able to properly grieve that loss, to say goodbye to their mom. And I hear today the same is equally true of a sister who never was able to say a proper goodbye to her sister, a mother who never was able to say a proper goodbye to her daughter, and many friends who had the same loss. As to indictments 2 and 3, I have considered the sentencing guidelines, the aggravating factors. There are no mitigating factors in this case. And I also sought out and considered information from the Massachusetts Sentencing Commission, again, which I shared with the parties earlier this week, in particular sentencings in 2022 and 2023 of defendants who were convicted of murder and or voluntary manslaughter, along with a Chapter 268, Section 13B conviction. This is not a guideline case. Finally, as to the first-degree murder conviction, I have considered the loss of the life of an innocent, remarkable woman, Anna Walshe, and its devastating impact on her children, as relayed to me in the letter from DCF, her family, as relayed to me in her sister's victim impact statement today, friends, and their victim impact statements, and the community. In the trial testimony of Jem Mutlu and Alyssa Kirby, a little bit of Anna Walshe, her warm, powerful, and embracing spirit came to life in this historic courtroom. I have carefully listened to the moving victim impact statement, to the oral written sentencing arguments made by the Commonwealth and by Mr. Walshe. It's clear to me that Anna was a bright light in the lives of many people. She lifted people up. I am sure that nothing I say and no sentence I can impose, even a life sentence, will lessen the grief that Anna Walshe's family, her mother, sister, and 3 boys, extended like family, confidants, friends, and others have endured and will continue to endure. Although I consider the letter of Diana Walshe, I simply cannot reconcile the person Diana Walshe describes in her letter with the person who stands before me for sentence. Mr. Walshe, you can stand. Mr. Walshe, you will live with the guilt and burden of Anna Walshe's death for the rest of your life. As to count 1, the jury having convicted you of murder in the first degree, I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As to indictment 2, lying to the police in connection with the investigation of a life felony, I sentence you to no less than 19 years, no more than 20 years, the statutory maximum, in prison to be served consecutive to the life sentence in 001. The legislature caps the maximum sentence for the improper disposal of a body at 3 years in state prison. Oh, wow. As to indictment 003, the improper disposal of the body of your wife, Anna Walshe, I sentence you to no less than 2 years, 364 days, and no more than 3 years in state prison to run consecutive to the sentences in 001 and 002. I want to make one other notation with regard to the sentences that I'm giving today. Earlier in this case, I identified that there was an error in Mr. Walsh's III. That error persists to today. Specifically, so the record is clear, as I understand Mr. Walsh's prior federal sentence, he was sentenced to 37 months in federal prison. That sentence was to run concurrent with any state sentence that was given in this case. This morning, I asked probation to run his III again, and it is still incorrect. It is showing a 5-year probationary sentence. At my direction, the probation department in the last month, or perhaps a little bit longer, contacted the federal probation office in Boston to correct what I think is an obvious error in his III. It has not been corrected, and it stands still today as showing 5 years of probation as the sentence. To the extent that confuses anything in my sentencing, I want the record to reflect that, again, it's my understanding he was sentenced to 37 months in federal prison to run concurrent with this sentence that I'm now imposing today. Madam Clerk, you may impose the sentence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Walsh, a jury having returned a guilty verdict on charge 1, murder in the first degree, you are sentenced to the state prison for the term of your natural life. Count 2, witness intimidation, you having entered a guilty plea to that, sir, you are sentenced to 20 years, 19 years, not less than 19, not more than 20 years, to run from and after your life sentence on count 1. On count 3, improper disposal of the body, you are sentenced to not less than 2 years and 364 days and not more than 3 years to run from and after the sentence on count 2. You will receive 1,076 days credit for time deemed served while awaiting the disposition of this matter. All fees and fines in this matter are waived. You're all set, Mr. Walsh. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
Bye.
Madam Clerk.
Never have to worry about seeing you again.
Goodbye.
Oh, and the Commonwealth, they judge or they sentence way different. I've noticed that. Yeah. How long do you think he'll last? Well, he's just going to a state prison. It's not even a federal prison. How long do you think he'll last? I mean, somebody's paying someone in there to no. And you know, I've been hearing people talk about
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my show. I really appreciate.
Yeah, but I also been hearing people talk that his mom had a part in this. They just can't come up with what she's done. I
Appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. Appreciate all the support. I'm getting into the latest.
Yeah, I think she had a really big part to play in it. Her and Anna did not like each other. Yeah. I just wonder what part she would have played. Like maybe in the disposing. I'm pretty sure he probably strangled her. Used a pillow, suffocated her. But you know, he could have he probably would have gotten, I don't know. I don't know how he could get premeditated when it wasn't. It really wasn't premeditated murder. He did not, well, there was no planning of this before. Yes. Yes, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Now, this case out of Michigan, the one where they unalived the pregnant girl and then took the baby. Now that was premeditated. They planned it. They had searches and on their phones and everything for months. They were planning that. And how could they mess it up that bad to where the poor baby didn't make it? Shh. Yes, they had planned this poor girl's death for months. They watched videos how to do a C-section. They watched videos on how to do a C-section and still effed it up. I don't know if they cut too deep or what happened, but the baby didn't make it because they had no real idea of what they were doing trying to cut that baby out of her, and they botched it horribly. Bad. They oh my God. The mom's boyfriend, and then they were all sleeping together. The mom and the baby daddy to Rebecca, the girl that died, were boyfriend and girlfriend at one time. And then she got with him after her mom was done, got pregnant. Oh my God. What is going on with this world? This Rebecca, or the Courtney, the mom. No, God, no. I would never. Oh no, they're still in the like they're still like, yeah, they're not even close to a trial yet. They probably won't go to trial for this for another couple of years, maybe a year. There's so much. I mean, because they searched the spot that she was found at. And then somehow after they were searched, the body was put there. And thankfully, someone went back there and researched. Oh God, that case is a fucking mess. And then the mom's trying to get out on bail. You aren't going anywhere, ma'am. You are stuck there. Where do you think you're going to go? They're not going to put you out in the world after you done murdered your child and then your grandbaby too on top of it. No, ma'am, you are not. The boyfriend, he hasn't asked for no bail. He's like, I know I ain't going anywhere. He's like, I'm stuck here. What the hell? Why would you even get yourself caught up in such a mess? My God. People. Just terrible. And then the kid in California that offed Rob Rayner. Yes. And then, just a week before this kid offed his mom and dad in California, there was an opera singer that his son killed or offed him too. So these kids are going after their parents thinking they're going to collect these. But you know what I was seeing? Oh my God. So I was watching this program, and oh, yeah, no. Yeah, she wants to go home and take care of her 14-year-old. What do they think that they're going to let her around any children at all? But there was a headline that says Rob Rayner kisses son on lips. What is that about? And there's a picture of it. Not saying, kissing your son is a bad thing, but when he's an older child, no. Yes. I mean, you shouldn't go out and off your parents, but sometimes these parents, they be doing some weird things to their kids in these big mansions out there in California. I'm telling you. Look at the Mendez brothers. Look what their parents did to them for how many years? Years they were abused. I don't care what anybody says. No, they should not have killed their parents. And no, they should not have they should be out. They were abused. They were mentally and physically abused for years. Yes, I was hearing from this guy right here, Brian Enton. He was taking hormone pills to change to become a woman. Yes, and that those hormone pills will mess you up. Well, see, they were saying that they were showing him tough love. No, they sent him out to the streets for 2 days and went back and got him. That's not showing tough love. And then letting him stay in the guest house. Well, the sister was saying that, well, yeah, because he's not properly treated for his mental illnesses. Why? Because mommy and daddy don't want him running around Hollywood acting like a fool. So they kept him in a house, happy with his drugs. And when the drugs became not enough, he was at this Conan O'Brien party asking if they were famous. Are you famous? Are you famous? No, I'm saying it's not wrong, but I'm just saying it's weird. It's a little weird. Like, I wouldn't kiss my mom on the lips. No, you're right. You're right. Schizophrenia. Well, Cindy's son is well, not that I want to, well, she's already said it in here before, but her son is as what kind of no, he's not schizophrenic. What is it? I forgot. Yeah, schizophrenia. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen it. I guess I was just raised really different. I would never kiss my dad. Not at my age. No, hell no. No. My dad was weird. I love the man to death, but he was a freak. Like, I wouldn't know. After my parents got divorced, whoa, my dad hit the town running. Did he hit the town running? Man, did he hit the town running. And he hit the pavement hard, let me tell you. Let me tell you. He was with his friend Tom, and he would go out. He drove semi out to Florida all the time. All the stories my dad would tell me about his trips going out to Florida and picking up prostitutes. And yes, that is very true. That is very true. But it seems like to me, he has only ever he's been a drug addict since he's been a young kid. This boy. So I think had he been properly treated, even the Romy, the daughter, was saying that that her brother was something. I can't say it word for word, but like he's crazy. Like he's dangerous. But yet they allowed the grandkids to come over there every day. Now, come on now, that don't make a whole lot of sense. You're sending your kids over to your parents' house, but you got a crazy brother over there. Leah, what are you doing? Well, y'all, we don't have to worry about Mr. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you see, you get to feeling better, so you feel like you don't need the medicine anymore. See you later, Kathy. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button. Tell your friends at Verdict Watch to come on over next time. Tell them to put my live up there instead of Grizzlies. I mean, she has enough people. Yeah, see, I was misdiagnosed from my childhood trauma that I had. I had a really bad trauma happen to me. And they said I was bipolar, but it was just post-traumatic stress disorder, which they can be confused. They put me on that freaking lithium. Oh my God. I got off that crap the moment I left the hospital. Actually, I think I didn't take it while I was there. I was like, I ain't taking this crap. God, I couldn't move. Felt like I was in a state of distress, like they were trying to murder me or something. But they got a lot of good medicines out there now for people with mental illnesses, you know. Oh, do you gotta go potty? Oh, what's wrong? You can't get your toy. No, you don't need to come over here because you're just gonna walk all over the computer. Well, I haven't gone live for a few days, Cindy, because I don't know, my pancreas. Every time I eat something, I get like this horrible pain right in the middle of my stomach. And oh my God, I just want to die. Oh. Are you a squirrel? Are you a squirrel? Well, I guess I can end this out. Maybe I might go live later and we can talk about the different different headline newses that are going on, like the one in Michigan, the one in California. What about the guy that left his children up in the Utah mountains? My God. Did you hear about that? Come here, come on. Did you hear about the guy that left his 3 children up in the Utah mountains, like way up there? Like even the fire department was scared to go up there. They said, this is really high. He's got mental illnesses too. He was off his meds. He said he taught his daughter how to do CPR and left. Yeah, but I can't see they lived right next door to Rob Reiner and his wife. The daughter, Romy, lived right across the street. So the kids every day would run across the street to go to grandma and grandpa's house. But you got the brother that's living in the guest house that's on God knows what kind of rugs, you know. It wasn't that he was off his meds for psychiatric help. He was just plainly on all different kinds of rugs. And then he must have his grandpa must have left him some money. He just couldn't have it. Because now he's got Alan Jackson as his lawyer. And that's a $2 million payment you got to put on there just to get him on your case. That's not including everything that he can do. I don't know why you want to spend this money on these on these high-time lawyers. When you know you're guilty of the crime, get somebody cheap. You're going to go to prison, period. Because they know you did it. I don't get it. I don't get wasting the money. Yeah, it is. I've taken Celexa. Actually, I took a really old drug. It's called dismembering. I don't even think they make it anymore, but it always worked really good for me. And then I couldn't take it anymore because they wouldn't give it to me. So then they put me on Celexa, and that worked really well. Well, then they didn't want to give me that anymore, so they put me on this other medication, and I was really allergic to it. I know. No, I'm scared. I have not. I just ain't eating. I'm just going to give it a break. Just give it a rest. If I don't eat, drinking's fine. If I eat something, it immediately acts up. I mean, I feel fine as long as I don't eat. And if I put a patch on my back where the pain is, it's not there then. So that's weird too. So I don't know if it's something from my back. I don't know. Yeah, I think they're doing okay. Poor kids. What the heck? What was he trying to pull the same thing that guy did with the 3 little girls? And they finally found his remains. Oh, and then I don't know if you keep up on true crime, but that Chance, hold on, I'll show you a picture of it. Hold on. Stop. Hold on. Let me show you something. Engelbert, Chance Engelbert. They said it was no foul play at all. He's been missing. Oh, I don't know if I should play this guy. Oh, here we go. I can play this one. This guy here. I'm so glad because his girlfriend was really looked at for this.
We have a sad update to a missing persons case News Nation has been covering from the start. The family of a Wyoming man missing since 2019, Chance Engelbert, says that remains found in Nebraska are confirmed to be his. Engelbert, a rodeo star, disappeared while visiting his wife's family in Nebraska, leaving on foot after an argument. News Nation's Rich McHugh joins us live with the latest. Rich, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Nick. So officials in Nebraska say that DNA confirms that the body found last month is in fact Chance Engelbert, and the cause of death revealed as accident. But spoken to the family and friends, they say this is not closure, and they simply do not believe this. 25-year-old Chance Engelbert, he was a cowboy at heart, putting himself through college on a riding scholarship. In 2018, he married Bailey, and they had a baby boy, Banks. Bright future, new job at a propane company in Wyoming where the couple lived. During a 2019 4th of July trip to Bailey's hometown in Gering, Nebraska, Chance Engelbert vanished. According to Gering police, Chance was golfing with Bailey's family, and Chance got upset over comments how he'd be making less money at his new job. According to Bailey, Chance called and said he wanted to leave, wanted to go back home to Wyoming. She picked him up and drove to her grandparents' house in Gering, and that, she said, made him more upset. He got out of the car and started walking away. Surveillance footage obtained by News Nation shows Chance Engelbert walking through Gering around 7:50 p.m. that night. In the video, you can see Chance look at his phone and take a 90-degree turn left as if following a map. That was the last Chance was seen alive. In 2022, I spoke with his best friend, Matt Miller, and his mom, Dawn.
Some people say, look, there was a powerful storm that night. The river was at its all-time high. It's a very good chance that he ended up in the river, and it's a tragic accident. What would you say?
I'd say Chance was born and raised for that kind of weather. There's just no way it could take him.
So you don't buy for a second this idea of a tragic accident?
Not even a second, no.
I need people to know, and he needs justice. I don't know who did it to him. I honestly don't. I hope it's a stranger. I just want people, somebody knows. You see this town, it's small. Somebody's seen something. Somebody knows something.
Authorities say they found Chance's body in a remote part of Scotts Bluff. The statement they list cause of death as an accident, quote, a pattern of blunt force trauma most consistent with rapid deceleration event, including but not limited to a fall from height. Chance's mom, Dawn, doesn't bias. She gave me permission to share this on our air. She wrote, I honestly don't even know what to say. They feel that he walked that trail thinking it was a shortcut to Torrington and fell to his death. Our family will never believe this, as he just wouldn't do something like that, especially with the time of day and storm coming. We did not get answers nor any type of closure. We are heartbroken. Back to you, Nick.
Rich, thank you so much. You mentioned that Chance's wife, Bailey. What has been her response to this news? Because I have to believe she's rather upset as well.
Yeah, so in 2022, when I was out there investigating this, I asked her to interview. She declined an on-camera interview, but did tell me a couple things that I want to say. I want to read them. She wrote, I told the cops everything that I know. I've been completely transparent with them. I never hid anything from anybody involved with it. They just don't like the answers that I have to give. Now, I reached back out to Bailey today to see if she would like to weigh in or comment, and she has yet to respond. Nick.
Rich McHugh, thank you so much for that report.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you in the next live. I don't know if I'll go live again today or just wait till tomorrow. I'm not sure. All depends. I have some dishes and stuff that need to get done, so might as well get them done while I feel okay. I will. I'll go. If it acts up again, I'll go to the emergency room. I mean, the pain is just, oh my God, horrendous. But okay, see you in the next one. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Thank you for being here. All right. Bye-bye.